Metal wings to fly won't take you to the stars. Use the metal for a boat and you won't sail too far. Stop sitting in the dark, stirring metal clouds about. You will change your life forever when you figure out the secret PinCode. 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 Science can be tricky, it can overheat your brain. Science can be hard to chew, each bite can be a pain. Stop sitting in the dark, stirring metal pots about. You will change your life forever when you figure out the secret PinCode. 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 The secret PinCode. 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 PinCode.
Phenomenal! When we look through the telescope at faraway planets, stars, and galaxies, we're looking not only through space, but also through time. The light that we can see needs some time to reach us. When we look at the sun, for example, we actually see it as it was 8 minutes ago. That is the exact period of time that it takes for light to cover the distance between the Earth and the sun. Taking a photo of the closest star, Proxima Centauri, gives us an image that's almost 5 years old. So we see faraway galaxies as they were millions of years ago.
Wunderbar! So you're saying when we look at the stars, we see not only far away, but back in time?
Precisely, yes.
Space is just really boring.
But Crash, you're the one who wanted to come.
You're right, I did. But I was thinking we'd meet cool aliens and stuff. Have battles with guns that say pew, but there's nothing out here. Nothing but empty space and twinkling stars. And we could see that stuff from Earth.
Daco thinks that we're pioneers, trailblazers here at the dawn of space discoveries. That means every space experiment we do is of great value to the future. When you think about it, it's exciting.
Right. That's about as exciting as math. I want some space pirates. Pretty please. Ah. Well, look at that. That'll work.
Crash, are you sure this wasn't, important?
I'm making it better.
Colleague, please be very careful. This is a crucially vital experiment.
Yeah.
System ready to start.
All right, cunning invaders from the long-ear cottontail cluster. You will not last very long up against Captain Fuchsia's spiky head.
Give up, creatures of the Earth. Swear your allegiance to the cosmic carrot or else perish.
A firm no.
Fellas, since you're not doing anything that matters, come on up! We found something awesome! Just phenomenal!
So, what's so awesome and phenomenal?
Right there! Right there! Our sun.
The sun is the star that binds our solar system together. Everything in our system revolves around the sun. The 4 terrestrial planets, 2 gas giants, 2 ice giants, and all their satellites, and the asteroids, meteorites, comets, and space dust as well. The sun's mass makes up 99.8% of the whole solar system's weight. Our ancient ancestors recognized how much their survival depended on the sun. Because of this, there were many ancient cultures that worshipped the sun. While our understanding of the sun's properties and processes has grown, and we no longer worship it, its size and position in relationship to the Earth remain vital to the survival of life on our planet. If the sun were any bigger or closer, Earth would be too hot for life to exist. And if the sun were any smaller or further away, Earth would be too cold for life to exist. While the sun is the biggest body in our solar system, in comparison to other stars in the universe, it is an average-sized star, sometimes called a yellow dwarf star. The closest star to our sun is Proxima Centauri. It's about 1/7 the size of our sun and is 4.25 light-years away. That means the light from Proxima Centauri takes 4.25 years to reach Earth. Sirius, which is 2 times heavier than our sun, is 9 light years away. And Arcturus, which is 25 times bigger than the sun, is 36 light years away. The largest nearby star is Betelgeuse. It's 1,000 times larger than the sun and is 500 light years away. Our sun is about 150 million kilometers from the Earth, or about 8 light minutes away. Today we know a lot about the sun, and scientists are always searching for more knowledge. We know the age of the sun, its radius and weight, though visiting the sun ourselves is still a long ways off.
So what? You know you can see the sun from Earth, right?
We're here for more than just a regular old gander at the sun. We're about to conduct a very important scientific experiment.
What do you plan on looking at the sun with? A nerd telescope or something?
Nothing like that, my bored, floppy-eared friend. We're going to be trying out a brand new, exciting method of traveling in space.
What's wrong with the old one? Besides, you know, that it's old and stuff.
When night fell and our ancient ancestors could see the stars, some dreamt of exploring space. Throughout history, people discovered new and better ways to travel by land, by water, and eventually even by air. But airplanes rely on atmospheric pressure, so when we pass through our atmosphere and into space, there is no pressure to hold us up. We need another way to move ourselves through airless space. The answer to our problem was jet propulsion. Propulsion relies on Newton's third law of motion, that to every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Propulsion shows up in the animal kingdom. For instance, an octopus will propel itself along by sucking water in and then pushing it out. This propels the octopus through the water. Another example of propulsion is the motion of a boat when a person pushes off of it to jump in the water. The boat reacts to the pressure of the jump and moves away from it. Motion occurs in space because the rocket uses an expulsion of fuel to push itself forward. No air is necessary because the rocket is responding to the opposite pressure of the fuel. A rocket must have enough energy to escape the Earth's gravity. At liftoff, the rocket's thrust is created by solid rocket boosters pushing upwards. Russian scientist and physics teacher Konstantin Eduardovich Tsiolkovsky played a key role in the development of jet propulsion by suggesting multi-stage rockets. Multi-stage rockets drop off sections of the rocket as the propellant is used up. This decreases the mass of the rocket, making it easier for the next propellant to push the rocket even further.
Groovy as jet propulsion may be, it has one very serious drawback.
What drawback? Look at it! It's awesome!
To get very far using a jet engine, you'd have to carry way too much fuel.
But how do you fly once your fuel supply runs out?
Well, we might run across something that can give us a little push. For example, the sun.
For real? Holy carrots, how is that?
Not quite, because the sun hasn't any hands, but it can push all the same with its shining light. Pretty interesting, am I right? Light puts pressure on the items that it hits. Only a little pressure, and yet, out here far away from gravity, that tiny pressure just might help us.
Peter Lebedev, a Russian scientist, was the first to measure the pressure of light on a solid body. He took a silver thread, placed a small foil propeller on the thread, and then placed this into a glass flask. He then removed all of the air, and when he directed light from a lamp on the flask, the blades began to spin. Almost 400 years ago, German scientist Johannes Kepler suggested that a solar sail might be used for traveling through space one day. Different space agencies are now planning and building some spacecraft with limited solar sails. But to explore interstellar space, we would need to build sails that are many kilometers across.
But of course, then they didn't have the technology for the creation of the large-sized cloth solar sails required, and so the concept was put on hold until a more advanced
And
era.
that era is today. We have been able to fabricate a solar sail prototype with the required size and properties.
Solar sail is damaged. Attention, solar sail is damaged. Attention, sail is damaged. Hello? Is this thing on? Your sail is messed up, yo.
Stop the deployment process! If it spreads out in its current state, the solar sail could be ripped to
I
shreds!
can't stop it! The process is automatic once you started it!
We've been preparing this for months! A one-of-a-kind experiment! Months of careful preparation! Oh, months! Not weeks, not days.
Hey, I was hugging that.
I don't know if this matters, but unauthorized spacewalk in progress.
Just let me get us a better picture!
It's Crash. Look!
The sail is still spreading out! Danger! That is dangerously dangerous!
Solar sail 75% deployed.
I find this very stressful!
Huh. Solar sail successfully deploying. The bunny rabbit did it.
Phenomenal! All right,
That's
Crash!
my resourceful
Wonderful
brain!
work, dear friend!
Fluffy tail!
Come back inside. I want to shake your hand. What?
This looks like a job for jet propulsion. Yahoo! Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Solar sail completely deployed. We are sailing on the solar wind.
This comet is one of a kind.
It's amazing!
Just the usual piece of space rock. Nothing special. My friend, I would have that you, as a seasoned poet, would appreciate the beauty. Bam, 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 bam.
What? Are the poems not writing themselves again?
Perhaps our friend's foul mood is not due to any creative crisis, and he might be a good candidate for our work studying with the brain.
What?
Mood, one might say, is conceived in our head, or more specifically, the brain. The brain consists of dozens of billions of nerve cells, or neurons, all connected to each other. When we think, feel, and operate our bodies, neurons constantly communicate with each other. When the neuron is firing, electric impulses run along its branches to other neurons. When several impulses at the same time reach a sleeping neuron, it wakes up and starts firing. The places where neurons contact each other are called neural synapses. Neurons are separated from each other by a small interval called an asynaptic cleft. When the impulse from a firing neuron reaches a sleeping one, a special thing appears, a neurotransmitter. The neurotransmitter affects receptors and the sleeping neuron wakes up and starts firing. For the brain to work properly, neurons have to communicate constantly. Neurons are also responsible for our mood, and their neurotransmitter is called serotonin. If these neurons for some reason stop communicating, then we can start to feel depression, insomnia, paranoia, and even aggression.
Chap, I do say, we don't joke about those types of things. We need to treat Wally.
Ah! Wally! Now don't move!
It's
Now do you feel
irresponsible in
safe,
regards to your
Pepper?
health. We need to
Is your
watch
health
after him
stable at
and
the
provide
moment?
symptom
With the brain, even aggression.
We're gonna fix you!
Enough! Just because I don't share your happiness doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me. Maybe you guys are the problem.
There's another symptom for you, paranoia.
You guys are the symptoms.
What was that?
And the stabilization system is out of whack.
And where'd Wally go?
The trauma isn't fatal.
Just a minor injury. Nothing serious.
Wally, you'll get better.
Hi. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm great. Rosa or the kitchen? Oh. Hi, Crash. I feel much better now. Everything with my head is... I'll go to Rosa. Hello. I'm completely healthy.
Congratulations.
Can we...
You're free.
Something about this comet. I can't shake the feeling that there's something wrong here.
There's something wrong here everywhere. I'll be darned.
Hey! Everything's okay with me. And with my head.
Congratulations. He's smiling still. Everything's all right with him.
What's up with them?
What's going off?
Olga! And I am... completely okay.
That's strange. Everything's too strange.
Chico, maybe you can tell me why everyone's acting so strange.
That's what you thought? Oh, did you see them? Do you understand? No? I understand. I always suspected. Walking around, whispering in the background, everyone is against me. And what are you smiling for? You are one of them.
Me?
You
What?
got
What gave you that
something up
idea?
your sleeve.
What was that? What? Did something happen while I was sleeping? Aha! Well, at least someone's normal. Pin, base here, come in, over.
What do you need?
I'm glad that at least you're okay. Working as always. By the way, what are you doing?
Dismantling the sphere jet.
What for?
I'm tired of its stupid piece of metal breaks all the time.
But we'll all die.
Well, I have a spacesuit.
What happened here? What? Well, let's have a look. Doko. Could this be one of your experiments? I I'm convinced that the success of space travel depends on teamwork and the crew's positive attitude. Why do mood neurons sometimes stop communicating? Let's imagine that our brain is a computer. Sometimes, due to large tasks, the computer freezes up. It's no use knocking my risk-taking friend. The computer needs to reload. The brain has a reset button too. It's called Zone 25. From time to time, it reloads our brain so we don't get frozen up in a bad mood for too long. But sometimes Zone 25 stops working itself. Then the neurons stop communicating and depression begins. Unfortunately, we can't always control our emotions. This case with Wally has clearly shown that. I used Spheroscope, and after having examined the future, I created an injection which will make Zone 25 not only invincible, but will also force mood neurons to communicate more effectively. I call it Friendtonin. It will help us to be friendly and, dare I say, very happy. But in order to make sure it works, I need to first block serotonin so that I become, gloomy and unfriendly. My friend, fix your stabilizing system. It's impossible to work.
I've already fixed it!
I see. I have blocked serotonin, and everyone else inhaled it through the ventilation. But how come it didn't affect me? Because you were in the infirmary. The air is filtered there. Hi. Oh, look at the comet over there.
Well, look, he's still all smiles. I'll be darned.
He's figuring something out.
Our friend just likes to be very special. But no big deal. We'll heal him. You'll be like everybody else. Crash. Catch him now. The subjects in 3D. Don't let him get into the laboratory. Is the suit a little tight? Oh, my dire... Oops. Hi.
Cool. Uh-huh.
After Friendtonin, the comet looks even better. My friend, you need to accept it.
Enough, my friend. We saw today that you can paint everyone with the same brush. Wally's position is a protest against the soulless technologies of the future, isn't it?
No, I just like being special.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rosa. Happy birthday to you.
Now it's time to, set off the fireworks, right?
Fireworks! Fireworks! Fireworks!
The natives are getting restless. Hurry up there, Daco.
Cool your horns, my impatient friend. Accuracy is most crucial in this process, as is being cautious. Be careful with these things, Wally, please. They can very easily go off by themselves.
What have we done? Please say you can invent more fireworks.
Well, first, this was not remotely my fault. And then second, where can I find more firework ingredients? We're flying through space!
This is bad.
Although...
Yeah.
Hey, yeah!
What's happening? It's fireworks time, isn't it?
Just give me a few moments here, my lovely birthday girl. There's a little question I'd like to ask everybody first. Here it comes. What do you know about the life cycle of a star?
What do you mean, a star's life cycle? Stars just shine forever, right?
No, siree. Just like everything else, stars come into the universe, they live, and they die. The process just takes much longer with stars. Very much longer, in fact. It takes billions of years.
A new star is created in a cloud of dust and gas called a nebula and consists mostly of hydrogen and helium atoms. When the dust and gas become heated through compression, if the mass of the cloud is dense enough, the temperature during the compression, as well as pressure, becomes so high that the atomic nuclei start joining and thermonuclear reactions take place. An enormous amount of energy is generated, and the compressed gas cloud starts shining, turning into a star.
Are you saying there was a time our sun was a cloud like that?
Like every star was, yes. But then, with time, it transformed quite a lot, growing into the sun, with which we're familiar. Thousands of years later, planets gradually formed around the sun. And one of these orbs eventually developed life. We're that life.
While I love party-killing science lectures as much as the next girl, I was promised fireworks.
Yeah, Rosa. But still, gee, this is interesting. And can you tell us the age of our sun?
We can roughly estimate that it's in the vicinity of 4.5 billion years old. It's been around a while. Certainly it's mature, not a little baby anymore.
Once a star has been formed, nuclear fusion occurs constantly in its core, using up hydrogen and releasing immense energy, enough to push against the force of gravity and keep the star in balance for billions of years. But this process is not infinite. Eventually, the hydrogen will be depleted and the star will either collapse or explode.
Goodness, are you trying to tell us that our very own sun is going to, come to an end?
What? Our sun will die? No more parties or fireworks? Hold me! Save the planet! Save the whales! Hey! It's a madhouse! A madhouse!
There is no need for any of us to panic. The life cycle of our beloved sun will not end soon at all. I'd say we have about 5 billion years before that.
I'm beginning to think nothing's going to blow up here. Are you telling me my birthday isn't worth fire in the sky?
Have patience, our dear porcine guest of honor. Something far better than fireworks is on the way.
Yeah, lots better, yeah. It is, right?
Precious friends, we have quite an enchanting opportunity to witness the end of the life cycle of one of the largest stars in our galaxy. May I present Betelgeuse?
Betelgeuse is one of the largest known stars and is one of the brightest stars in the constellation of Orion. Betelgeuse is 700 times bigger than our sun and approximately 100,000 times brighter. As is the case with all giant stars, Betelgeuse burns its hydrogen faster than smaller stars. It is believed to be in a late stage of stellar evolution and is expected to explode as a supernova within the next 1,000,000 years.
And what happens to stars when they get to the end of their cycle?
Hey, I know! They fall right out of the sky! If you see one falling, you can wish on it and stuff. But they're not as pretty as fireworks are!
You're wrong there. The final act in the life of a star is an awesome spectacle, better than the best fireworks display ever! We've come to the stellar neighborhood of Betelgeuse to view this breathtaking cosmic wonder!
Should we get closer? I can't see it! Just a bunch of regular old stars. So what? If we move closer to the star, is the ship going to melt or something?
I'm melting. This vessel is capable of withstanding ridiculously high temperatures.
There is no need to move closer, trust me. From this position, everyone will see everything clearly.
You can start the show now! Preferably while it's still my birthday.
Frankly speaking, it should have already started, according to all my calculations. I don't understand it. Sorry, let me just calculate all of it again.
Come on, fly closer! Oh, this is awesome! It's my birthday! Yeah! It is better than fireworks! Well, it is crazy warm, all right, but from here we will totally see everything!
Turns out I just forgot to carry the wand, silly me! And now I can say with absolute confidence, the spectacle will indeed be starting quite soon! Why are we right next to the star?
Much nicer view, right? I just thought we'd be able to see everything so much better from here.
You just don't understand a star's life! At the end of the life of a star, the close of its life cycle is an intense explosion! 10 seconds from now, Betelgeuse will increase its volume 1,000 times.
When there is no hydrogen left in the center of the star, fusion stops, and the star begins its collapse. This leads to intense pressure and heat, which in turn will lead to an explosion. Exploding stars become much bigger and brighter for a time. Sometimes the explosion of a star is the only time it is visible to us here on Earth. Exploding stars are called supernova. Betelgeuse may become a supernova sometime soon, although nobody can say exactly when it will happen. It's more likely that the flash of that supernova will be seen by a future generation. Perhaps they will see a second sun in the sky.
Yikes! Sweet sauerkraut!
My birthday!
That was not fun. I'm getting way too old for this stuff. Dumb star.
That's just great. I was way too scared to even look at the explosion. All I wanted were some dumb fireworks for my birthday!
Look at that.
Of course. So, Beetlejuice has grown so much it's nearer the Earth. In fact, it seems it's shining bright enough now it's able to give our sun a little friendly competition.
Isn't it just beautiful? It's the best birthday in the history of forever. Forget silly old fireworks. I got a whole new star!
So what is it that you all find out in this daggum space, huh? Romance? Adventure? What kind of romance is there out here, for the love of Pete? We're muddling about in this emptiness like a teaspoon in a glass. As if we solved all the problems on Earth, huh? As if it were better to cultivate new ground or something.
How, pardon me, old-fashioned of you. Our universe is amazing and beautiful, and our Earth is merely a cradle out of which mankind should have long ago climbed out of.
Earth isn't a cradle. It's a home. A home which protects us from all the universe's dangers. Space is a real hotbed of various cruel and dangerous things. Let's take the sun, for example. It's thousands of degrees. It wouldn't pry us up and not even notice. And that's not even the brightest star in the universe. And then there's nasty things in space like space radiation. Streams of particles from stars and other radioactive gunk. We can't even see it, and it might be getting a lethal dose. I'm not even mentioning meteorites and comets darting around the universe here and there. But the Earth protects us from all these troubles with an atmosphere and a magnetic field. The atmosphere keeps the sun from frying us up, while keeping the warmth in so we don't freeze at night. Comets and meteorites can't even get to us because they burn up in our atmosphere like nothing doing. And the magnetic field protects us from space radiation. And most importantly, the Earth has air. In space, it's just a vacuum with nothing but misfortune. We're strangers out here in space, you understand? And strangers we will always be.
I think I know what's making you so upset, my negative friend. It's that you've never been out in open space.
What's there that I haven't seen already?
If you spend all the time, as you say, muddling about inside the sphere jet, then you can't truly judge the universe's true beauty. Spacesuit mode on. Let's go outside right now, shall we? And you'll see just how fantastic open space really is.
I don't want to. That is, I have plenty to do inside the sphere jet. And anyways, I don't have any time. I've been sitting here too long already.
Spacesuit mode on. I've got an idea. Computer, turn off artificial gravity.
Gravity is turned off.
Quiet, you're waking up. Wake up, my space-hating friend. Surprise! Now you can experience to your heart's content all this true beauty.
Mercy
What's
me!
the matter?
I'm in space! Whoa!
Relax. You're totally safe. I didn't know that you had a phobia about space. How come? Why didn't you tell me earlier? There's no reason to be ashamed of your fears. You should tell your friends about them, and it will be much easier. I, for example, have an irrational fear about speaking in foreign languages. Weird, no?
You see, every night since we started conquering the universe here, I have the same dream every night. I am in open space. All around are various stars and nebulae. And then something happens. Something like a short circuit. And then I understand that's it. Every night, the same thing.
But that's just a dream. Space in reality is not really that harmful for organisms like us. One of the most common misconceptions about space is that it's really cold there, and that means an unprotected organism would instantaneously turn into ice. That's not true. In reality, space is made up of a vacuum, and vacuums are one of the best thermal insulators there are. It's for good reason they're used in thermoses. Therefore, it would take a long time for our bodies to cool down, and some simple athletic exercises would keep us from freezing altogether. There's a much higher possibility not of freezing, but of being overheated in some stars' radioactive rays. But if you're far enough away from them, then there's nothing to be scared of. Another myth about space is that it will inflate you from the inside due to internal pressure. But the difference in external pressure between the Earth's surface and open space is only 1 atmosphere, and that's not very much. An increase in pressure of 1 atmosphere is what a diver would feel descending to a depth of 10 meters. And our bodies could withstand that without any harm. The most important thing is to exhale to avoid unnecessary pressure on the lungs. Truthfully, in the absence of pressure, there are other dangers. As it happens, liquids boil faster than at lower pressures. Therefore, in a vacuum, it will boil almost instantly. And if liquids inside an organism are protected by our internal pressure, then external liquids will evaporate immediately. Therefore, the tongue in space will soon dry up. So, taking into account the lack of air, we could easily last in space at least a couple minutes. Of course, you'd lose consciousness after about 10 seconds, but the likelihood of survival is much higher than, for example, molten lava from a volcano.
Get me back to Earth. I feel more comfortable in my cradle. Well, let's take a break. Before we go, then.
There's no need to take a quick break for anything. I looked into Spherescope and discovered one very useful invention from the future. It's called Antiphobe. 1 injection of this and you'll be rid of all your phobias and fears.
Uh-huh. Along with your life, too.
No, not at all. There's no threat to your health whatsoever.
Get that thingamajig away from me.
Science should be trusted. Look here. Nothing bad will happen at all.
Daco. Are you okay?
Parlez-vous français? Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Kazakh nie siedzi? Hola, mi llamo Daco. ¿Cómo estás?
Daco, where are you going?
Mon crayon est grand et jaune. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
Hey, where are you going?
Voglio un pizza pepperoni. Добро пожаловать в Москву.
Wait, will you please give it
Je ne
a rest?
comprends pas, je vais bien. Ja, das ist fantastisch. Homo homini lupus est. Regime scaphandar. Kogi isayo opa Gangnam Style.
Hey, quit fooling around.
Por favor, hable más despacio. Yo no comprendo. Oh.
Daco, over. Come back here immediately.
Jerefe, Kitos.
Computer, bring him back immediately.
Incorrect request. Spherejet is not equipped with external tools.
Non parlo molto bene italiano. Ripeta, per favore, arrivederci.
And where did you go, you linguistic disaster?
Surprise!
Attention. Danger. Spacesuit is depressurizing. Return to ship immediately. Attention.
Daco! Spacesuit mode
Attention,
on!
danger.
What the heck is this? Okay, I'm coming!
Return to ship
already.
immediately.
Hold on!
Attention, danger.
Dang you.
So, taking into account the lack of air, we could easily last in space at least a couple minutes. Of course, you'd lose consciousness after about 10 seconds, but the likelihood of survival is much higher than, for example, molten lava from a volcano.
Are you awake yet, polyglot? How do you feel?
Why am I tied down? This is embarrassing.
Pardon-moi, monsieur. I'll be right back to untie you. I'm just gonna fly around. It's so beautiful out here that it hurts. I'll be darned. Open space.
Daco's birthday, full of birthday. Our friend is so smart and kind. Eat some food, cakes and chips. Smartest moves on our
What a
whole
wonderful
ship.
surprise! Just for me, a customized song! I love it! It's not only clever, it's thrifty as well!
Come on. I know the song's awesome, but you can't possibly think that's the only thing we got you for your birthday.
You recall how your encyclopedia's missing a few pages? On D, right near the end, when I couldn't find dubstep?
Oh yeah, so weird they're gone. Don't know where they could have gone to.
Daco, encyclopedias are a wonderful resource. And that's why they should have every last page. Therefore, we got you a new encyclopedia.
Here! I hope the story's interesting. I've never read it.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Now that he has the one with all the pages, I can learn what dubstep is, I think.
Well, let's find it.
But not so fast. Maybe we could start from the beginning, or with ease, or...
We have Damon and Darwin and Daco?
Holy 70s haircut, Daco. Why is your picture in here? Are you secretly famous?
So humble. You never told us.
I'm sure it's not me. You know my name is quite common.
Come on, Daco, that's you for sure. Let's see what it says. Daco Moose was expelled from the Elk Institute of Scientific Research for his complete failure of a scientific study. His suggestions were so ludicrous that he was immediately kicked off of all research projects, as well as barred from participating in the Cowbell Prize Committee. Oh, dear. Oh, he's also a verb. It means to, do something extremely dumb.
Oh. Yes, I'm the dishonored Daco. I'll explain. That's why you couldn't find the original page. It all started years ago at the Academy. It was the year's biggest meeting of important scholars and scientists, and I wanted to leave my hoof mark in the history books. I had been working for weeks on what I thought was an exciting hypothesis, and I couldn't wait to share it with everyone. Ahem, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to speak today on the subject of reactive gases' properties and what we now know. Not so fast. It's not gross. I mean the good gases like oxygen. Oh. But they aren't all good, of course. Some can be downright dangerous, like some types of chloride can be. Hydrogen sulfide is a different matter. Ammonia, not poisonous, just smelly. Ugh, gross. But wait, I haven't even gotten to the really bad ones.
We get it. Can you get to your point? I'm pretty sure we all know how gases work.
Right. Moving on. The reason I'm here today is to talk about my discovery. I've discovered some gases that have no reaction at all. None whatsoever. I know it's strange, but they really do exist. These gases have no smell or color, so it was hard to find out they existed, and their atoms don't connect with other atoms in any way. They act as if they're high class, which is why I've decided to call them noble gases.
What a stupid name that is for a stupid substance. More like boring gas.
Boring is a matter of opinion, I think. But these are amazing! And I've discovered a total of 6 noble gases so far. They are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. You might be wondering, why don't these gases have any reactions? It's because of the actions of their atoms, and specifically their electrons. Electrons orbit a nucleus. If other atoms come along, they can form a molecule with the first atom. Then they share electrons. The electrons start sharing their orbits, and thus the connection is made. A regular gas has space between its electrons, meaning it's free game for another atom to come and react. But a noble gas doesn't have any extra room. As a result, they make terrible roommates, and no one else can ever make a connection with them. No reactions can happen. This type of gas, these noble gases, are extremely rare in our own atmosphere. When I was searching for them, in fact, I found that they make up less than 1% of our own atmosphere on Earth.
So tell me, young scientist, if these gases are so noble and don't react to anything, do they even have a purpose? Any practical use here? Why should any of us care about them?
Well, I really didn't think they needed one. I just thought they were a cool discovery.
Pointless! Nobly pointless! It's just like this nobly pointless speech!
If we do research, maybe we could find, a point for the noble gas. I had always wanted to be a famous scientist, but not a laughingstock. And as you can see, I got my encyclopedia page, but it's my biggest shame.
Oh. So you still don't know how they can be used? These noble gases? Surely you found some use.
The most common noble gas is helium, and everyone knows how that's used for birthdays, balloons, and such. My hypothesis was called the most useless discovery of all time, and I was shamed ever since. I'm a failure.
You're the farthest thing from a failure I know. Sure, you pull a Daco here and there. We know how brilliant you are.
He's right, Daco. What do they know anyway?
Thanks, you guys.
And they sound like a bunch of boring old mooses. 'Cause who doesn't like balloons?
Yeah, balloons are my favorite.
Listen, that's just a bunch of hooey in that article. Here's what I'll do. I'll make that encyclopedia uncyclopedia'd. I'll show you a thing or two. I'll tear you apart. Science meanies.
Of the bad birthdays I've had, this is probably second.
I'd hate to hear first. Here's the thing. We sustained some serious damage to the engine. Also, comm system fried. And that means that we can't even call for help. We're finished. At least it's quiet on, what planet are we on?
On Mars. I can tell from its moons, Phobos and Deimos.
And that way is Earth. We could even see it if we had a big enough telescope.
You know where they have telescopes? On Earth, where they can see us. Hey, people of Earth, check this out! There's a rabbit on Mars! You better come save him! I bet there's a big cowbell prize in store for whoever discovers these dummies on Mars!
They couldn't see us. No matter how much we try, they just don't have the technology to see this far.
But what if we made a big bonfire or something like that instead?
A fire needs oxygen to burn, and Mars has none. It wouldn't burn.
Then how about a big light bulb? An enormous shiny light bulb!
Of course! We can stop by the giant hardware store on Mars. I heard they're having a sale on giant light bulbs.
Perfect.
There is a chance we could make a sort of gas lamp. Could be simple. No air needed. Here's how those work. A glass tube is filled with a regular old gas like nitrogen or carbon dioxide. Then we can put a current through it. Electrons inside start to go crazy flying through the gas, and they start running into some of the other atoms. This makes the gas glow.
You've got it! That type of light bulb would be much easier to put together, and it would probably consume a lot less energy.
What are we waiting for?
Problem is, this bulb would be fragile and break way too easily. Gases of that variety are quite unstable. If they produce the wrong kind of compound, the lamp would soon be destroyed.
Fine! We just need a gas that is the opposite of volatile and doesn't react at all.
Sounds like an emotionally well-adjusted gas.
Or a sleepy one.
You know, guys, I think I've heard of that gas. Discovered by someone smart.
Oh, yeah! I do remember hearing something about that stuff. And I think it was a really good scientist.
I'm so confused!
You all might be onto something here! We might have a use for the noble gases! Phenomenal! Each gas burns a different color! Simply amazing!
This is a brilliant use of gases in a new application. Not even hot. And I bet it burns even longer than an incandescent bulb because the gases inside aren't reactive to anything.
And this saves us a trip to the giant bulb store, so we should put it outside now.
Or we could use it to write words, like send out chips.
That's a good plan, but I have an even better idea.
Oh my! We have a possible situation. You should come see this. There's something truly bizarre happening on the surface of Mars. It's unbelievable.
Remarkable stuff.
Inconceivable.
Oh, phenomenal!
What's that? Holy carrots! They found us!
It looks like this is a new page in the encyclopedia that now deserves to be written.
Daco may have brought noble gases to Mars, but on our planet, their discovery goes way back. It's credited to two noble scientists themselves. Lord Rayleigh and Sir William Ramsay won the Nobel Prize in 1904 in chemistry. Thanks, noble dudes. Get back to your lounging.